Today we continue Kusala Sankhara, wholesome volitional activities, wholesome volitional formations. The first one is Saddha. Saddha is translated as faith or confidence. Sometimes we use confidence rather than faith. Faith may indicate blind faith, faith not accompanied by understanding. But here we mean confidence, which is mostly accompanied by understanding. So the first beautiful Kusala Sankhara mental factor is faith. Saddha has the characteristics of placing faith or trusting. There are 4 aspects for each mental factors. When we practice Vipassana meditation, we have to observe Namarupa, psychophysical phenomena in terms of their lakkhana, characteristics, Kecha functions, Pichupatana manifestation, and proximate cause. So the first one is lakkhana characteristics, second one is function, and the third is manifestation, and the fourth is proximate cause. So we try to understand these psychophysical phenomena with reference to these 4 aspects. So yogi have to try to understand characteristics because it is important. Yogi try to know, try to capture the characteristics of each mental state. So Saddha has the characteristics of placing faith, or it has the characteristics of trusting something. Yogi have faith in the Buddha, faith in the Dharma, faith in the Sangha, and so on. The function is to clarify as a water clearing gem causes muddy water to become clear. In the Attasalini, it is explained and also in the Vibhinga, mentioned that a universal monarch has a precious gem. That gem has the capability to clarify water. Suppose universal monarch went out for fighting, then he was tired and he wanted to drink water, and he tells his followers that he wants to drink water. But the water may be muddy at that time because they were fighting in the river. So when there is the gem with him, then he puts the gem in the water. then the mud will subside and the water will become clear. So in the same way, when saddha, faith in the triple gem, faith in the true Buddha Dhamma Sangha arises in your minds, then your minds become clear. So the functions of saddha is to clarify, to cleanse your mind like the water clearing gem. All the functions of saddha is to set forth as you might set forth to cross a flood. Set forth really means going right into, plunging into, entering into. Here the commentary is playing with a simile. People were trying to cross the river. The river was filled with crocodiles and other animals, so it is not safe. So these people were not brave enough, so they were just standing on the bank, looking here and there. At that time, a brave man comes along and asks them, "What are you doing?" And they said they wanted to cross the river, but they said that they were afraid of the crocodiles and other animals. So the brave man picked up his sword and said, "Just follow me. Don't worry about that," he said. And he plunged into the river and went ahead of them to scare away the crocodiles and other animals. So the brave man safely took the people from this bank to the other bank. With help of that man, following that man, people were able to cross the river, cross the flood. In the same way, when there is saddha in you, then you are able to perform meritorious deeds. When you have saddha, when you have confidence in the practice, when you have faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and when you have faith in the training and faith in yourself, then you can do everything. Saddha is like a brave man who takes people across the river, which is full of crocodiles and other animals. And the manifestations of saddha is non-fogginess. When your mind is clear, it is not foggy. So there is removal of the mind's impurities or as resolution. A yogi have met a Dimokha. Mental factors called a Dimokha. It is among the 6 occasional, you remember, Vitaka, Vichara, Adhimokkha, Viriya, Piti, and Chanda. Adhimokkha is resolution. There, Adhimokkha is occasional and it is variable. It may accompany both wholesome kusala and unwholesome akusala types of consciousness. In faith or in saddha, there is an element of resolution. First, we must understand that there are two kinds of adhimokkha. There is the ordinary adhimokkha, which is common to both wholesome and unwholesome. And there is this faith adhimokkha. So ordinary adhimokkha and faith adhimokkha. So when you have faith, you have this kinds of resolution. This is it. There is the things to have faith in such a way you think you have this resolution and follow it. So there is an element of resolution, an element of making up your mind, elements of making a decision in faith or in saddha. So saddha does not mean simply having faith. Here having faith is based on understanding. And when you understand that something is a real object of your faith, you decide that it is good. Then you have faith in it, you have confidence in it. There is an element of resolution in saddha. The proximate cause of saddha is something to place faith in. That means Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and others. Or the proximate cause is some hearing of the good Dharma, etc., that constitute the factors of stream entry. There are some things that lead to the attainment of Sotapaddi Mega and Sotapaddi Phala. You have to associate with noble people. You have to listen to the Dharma. You must have wise reflection, yoniso manasikara. You must develop factors of vipassana. These are called the constituent of stream entry or factors of stream entry. If you want to reach the attainment of Sotapanna, then you follow these four: associating with noble people, listening to the Dharma, wise reflection, and developing factors of vipassana. So these are the proximate causes of saddha. And saddha is compared to many things in the Sutta. Saddha is compared to a hand. If you have a hand, you can pick up good things you want, even if there are precious things in front of you. Without a hand, you cannot pick them up. In the same way, if you do not have saddha, if you do not have confidence, you cannot pick up kusala, you cannot pick up good qualities, you cannot pick up good mental states. Now you have a lot of saddha in the practice. Because of faith, you practice sitting meditation, walking, standing, daily activities. In every movement, you try to be mindful due to your strong saddha in the practice. So you are picking up very precious gem in every noting. So these are picking up the precious things. So how we know yogi becomes Sotapanna or not? Yogi have to examine himself or herself according to the progressive stages of vipassana insight knowledge. A yogi have to examine himself or herself according to the summons of Dhamma Dasa, Dhamma mirror. If you have complete progressive stages of vipassana insight knowledge, and you do the Dhammadasa, summon on Dhammamira, you can be assured of whether you have attained the Sotapaddi Megapala. So as a genuine Sotapanna, yogi will gain unwavering faith in the Buddha based on your empirical experience of Dharma, avijja. So faith is so unshakable that you won't give it up even at the sacrifice of your life. This is one of what the Buddha called four Dhamma mirrors or criteria for assessing one Dhamma status. So you remember, having discerned the Buddha qualities, yogi gains unshakable faith. So as the Vipassana yogis, you will also empirically realize the qualities of Dharma. Yogi realized that, as the Buddha pointed out, there are no person, no individual, no living entity. They are only namarupa, psychophysical phenomena that arise and vanish ceaselessly. And so they are all dukkha, they are all distressing, they are all anatta, they are all devoid of soul. And in due course of time, yogi will also directly experience nibbana through mega enlightenment as well as through the phala absorption. So yogis' own experience of Dharma will surely reinforce your faith in the Buddha, just like a man who is confident of the physician who has effectively cured him of his serious sickness. At the same time, yogi will also gain the unshakable faith in the Sangha, unshakable faith in the order of the noble ones who have been enlightened by following the same path as you are now on. In this way, the unshakable faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and flawless observance of five precepts constitute the four mirrors of Dharma, setting criteria for assessing your Dhamma achievement. So what are the four Dhamma mirrors? When you see the true qualities of the Buddha, you have unshakable faith in him. you practice meditation completely and you see the true qualities of the Dharma, and then you have unshakable faith in the Dharma. When you see the Dharma yourself, and then you see the qualities of the Sangha who are practicing correctly, and you have unshakable faith in the Sangha. A flawless morality of 5 precepts, cherished by Arya, cherished by noble ones. So Sotapanna have these 4 criteria. So unshakable faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, flawless morality of 5 precepts, cherished by noble ones. Sotapanna have these 4 criteria. So you need to remember. Can you follow me? Unshakable faith in the Buddha, unshakable faith in the Dharma, unshakable faith in the Sangha, flawless morality of 5 precepts, cherished by noble ones. Flawless morality of 5 precepts, cherished by noble ones. Sotapanna have these 4 criteria. So if you are true Sotapanna or not, you can test in this way. First you must see the Dharma, you must practice completely, and then you need to confirm that this Dharma is true and this Dharma is expounded by the Buddha. So Buddha is true Buddha, this Dharma is true Dharma, and other Sangha who practice in this way are true Sangha, and then your DNA change to Arya DNA, and your DNA have flawless morality of 5 precepts is never changed. So regarding the 5 precepts, it is effortlessly but not delivered lately or intentionally that a Sotapanna observe 5 precepts. So that means you make no deliberate effort to undertake 5 precepts because you never arouse strong defilements, kilesa, enough to commit evil deeds. You never kill, you never steal, you never do sexual misconducts, you never do telling lies, and you never take intoxicant. 5 precepts. So it is important to check whether yogi is endowed with such effortless observance of moral precepts. So Sotapanna faith, saddha in triple gem and practice is extremely strong. So he or she will turn only to true teacher, Buddha, true Buddha as his true teacher. And Sotapanna will never change his faith in this true teacher. And even in his next life, next rebirth, he or she will not go to another teacher. So Sotapanna is said to be free from doing sick things. What are the sick things? Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, daily lies, and taking intoxicant, and going to another teacher. And Saddha is described as a treasure, Dana in Bali. There are 7 treasures which are called noble treasures. Ariyadana, you remember? Noble treasures, Ariyadana are Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Jaga, Pinya, Hiri, and Uttapa. Saddha is one of the noble treasures. Saddha treasures can lead to the attainment of enlightenment. So it is the best of treasures. In our life, there are other kinds of treasures. These worldly treasures cannot help us to reach the stage of an arahant or enlightenment. But Saddha can help us to reach the state. Without Saddha, without confidence, we will not even listen to the Dharma. We will not practice 1-month retreat, 2-month retreat like this. If we have not confidence, we will not come here. We will not practice seriously. So Saddha is compared to a treasures. Saddha is compared to wealth. And then Saddha is compared to seed. If you want to have a tree, if you want to have a fruits, you must grow the seed. If you do not have the seed, you cannot have fruits and flowers. In the same way, if you do not have Saddha, you cannot have Kusala, you cannot have wholesome, volitional formations. So Saddha is compared to a seed. And Saddha is one of the 5 mental faculties, 5 indriya. You remember the 5 mental qualities, mental faculties, indriya, faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Faith or Saddha is one of the mental faculties. These 5 mental faculties are to be kept in balance. If any one of them is in excess, your meditation will go wrong. So your Saddha, faith, is to be balanced, especially with Pinya, wisdom, understanding. So too much Saddha and you will believe in anything. So too much Pinya and you will become deceitful. So they must be balanced. Saddha is one of the 5 mental faculties which is important in our practice of meditation. And we go to another mental factors. Sati, mindfulness. We all know mindfulness very well. All the yogis are very experienced. You have been practicing mindfulness meditation for many, many years. You love it. So the word sati derives from a root meaning to remember. Here as the mental factors, it is not remembering actually, but as the mental factors, it signifies presence of mind, attentiveness to the present, rather than the faculty of memory. So sati here does not mean to remember, but it means to pay attention to the object at the present moment. When we practice Satipatthana, mindfulness meditation, we are mindful of the object at the present moment. In some places, sati does mean remembering. The supernormal knowledge of remembering past life. Our fully enlightened Buddha attained the knowledge in the first watch of the night before he became the Buddha. That knowledge is called Bobbe Nivasa no Sati. Bobbe Nivasa no Sati. Sati there means to remember. The Buddha was able to remember his past life. In certain contexts, sati can mean remembering. Here is as a matter of fact, sati means not remembering but mindfulness to be with the object. So sati has the characteristics of not wobbling. That means not floating on the surface. The commentary explained that some dry food or uh, some dry wood or a balloon floats on the surface of the water. It does not go into the water. So sati is not like that. If your sati must go into the object. Another way of saying non-wobbling is non-superficiality. If it is sati, it is not superficial. Now you know rising, falling, sitting, walking, seeing, hearing. So your mindfulness must not superficial. It must be squarely with the object. It must go into the object. Its function is absence of confusion or non-forgetfulness. That means actually not losing the object. When you pay attention to something, your mind is with that object. Your mind does not lose that object. You do not lose that object because your sati is there. So it is the functions of non-confusion or functions of not losing the object. So the manifestation of sati is guardianship. Sati manifests as a guard. When you put a guard at a gate, a guard can keep out unwanted animals, unwanted people. In the same way, when you put sati as a guard at your mind door, it can keep out the unwholesome mental states from entering your mind. So when yogis concentrate on sati itself, it appears to them as a guard. Sati is there at the six sense doors. Sati is as the eyes door, ear doors, nose door, tongue door, body door, and mind door. So long as sati is at these six sense doors, no unwholesome state can enter your mind. So that is why Buddha said, Ekayano ayam bhikkhue mego satana visuddhiya. This is the only way for the purifications of minds of beings. Some people do not like the statement. They would say there must be some other ways, not just this only. They said, but here that is the truth that this is the only way to keep our mental defilements from entering our mind. There's no other way. If yogi keep mindfulness with you, you can keep them at bay. The moment you lose mindfulness, the mental defilements come in. So mindfulness is the only way that you must accept. And Buddha especially said that this is the only way, there is no other way, but mindfulness can be practiced in different ways. There is mindfulness of breathing, anapana, mindfulness of postures of the body, sitting, standing, walking, lying down, idiabata, and clear comprehension, mindfulness of small activities, dhatu manasikara, mindfulness of four elements in the body, and mindfulness of different parts of the body. There are many ways, so many kinds of mindfulness practice. But whatever you practice, it must be mindfulness so that you can keep your mental defilements away from your mind. That is why Buddha said, this is the only way for the purifications of minds of beings. Mindfulness is like a guard. So long as there is mindfulness as guard at the six senses, there is no chance for the mental defilements to enter your mind. Or it is manifested as the state of confronting an objective field. That means coming to the objects or something like that. So there is sati. Mind is not only aimed at the object, but actually touches the object. So mind is turned towards the object. Confronting means turning your mind face to face with the object. It is confronting. And the proximate cause of mindfulness is strong perception. If you have strong sanya, perception, you can remember many things. You can memorize a book, or maybe you can memorize many books. Actually, that is because you have strong sanya. Strong sanya helps you remember things. Or it is manifested as the four foundations of mindfulness. Or it is proximate cause is the four foundations of mindfulness. Four foundations of mindfulness is also the proximate cause. You practice the four foundations of mindfulness and you develop mindfulness. So you have been practicing mindfulness, you have been developing mindfulness for many, many times. The previous mindfulness is the proximate cause for the practice of mindfulness, or the previous mindfulness is the condition for the practice of your mindfulness. One moment of mindfulness has another moments of mindfulness and another moments of mindfulness. So that is why you are practicing 4 foundations of mindfulness. 4 foundations of mindfulness is the proximate cause. So saddha, sati, and we need to know how Buddha acknowledged in the Bodhi Rajakumara Sutta. In the Bodhi Rajakumara Sutta, Buddha acknowledged that a yogi of sharp intelligence, wisdom or understanding, that is Sektika Pinya Neya yogi, so that yogi can even become fully enlightened within a night or within a day. So Buddha acknowledged in the Bodhi Rajakumara Sutta when bhikkhu, when yogi who possess the 5 factors of striving, Padaninga Dhamma, meet a Tathagata to guide him. So teacher is the best one, teacher is Buddha. Then he was instructed in the evening, and he practiced, then he might arrive at distinction in the morning. And if he was instructed in the morning, he practiced, and then he might arrive at distinction in the evening. So this is Buddha acknowledged. So what are the 5 factors of striving? Padaniyinga Dhamma. The first one is faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and faith in his meditation teacher. So the first one is Saddha. Saddha in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, meditation teacher, and meditation method. So there is no doubt your method is Satipatthana method. You can observe every phenomena occurring at the 6 senses. You are contemplating the body, feeling, consciousness, and Dharma. All Namarupa you are observing occurring at the 6 senses. And then number 2, sufficient health to digest the food you eat. Now this health also no problem for you. You can eat, you can sleep very well. You are not a very serious sick. Serious, no, you have no serious sickness. You eat well, you sleep well. So you have sufficient health to digest the food you eat. And then number 3, you must have enough honesty to state the facts of your experience to your teacher and fellow meditators without showing any virtues that you are not endowed with, or trying to conceal your shortcomings. That means you are very honest to tell the truth. And number 4 is you must have determination to persist your efforts until you become fully enlightened, even if the result is that your flesh and blood wither away, leaving only skin, sinew, and bones. That is your effort. So now you are practicing very diligently. From the very early morning you wake up and non-stop you practice until 10, 11. So non-stop practicing is really inspiring. And you can look at other yogis, also they're very serious. So atmosphere is very favorable for you. All the yogis are putting effort. And then number 5 is arousing inside knowledge of the arising and passing away of the nama rupa. So most of the yogis see that arising and passing away of the phenomena. So yogi are able to attain the knowledge of path and fruition and reach nirvana within 7 years, or 7 days, or even within one night or one day. Who said these words? These words are not the words of an ordinary person. These words are of the Buddha, who understood by himself of all Dharma as they really are. So because he only said what was true and beneficial, they are the words of the Sukata, that is Buddha. So all the yogis are endowed with faith and aspiration to become free from the cycle of suffering, are practicing in this retreat. So Buddha do not speak ambiguously, they only speak what is true. Buddha do not speak fruitlessly. Buddha only speak what is beneficial. So if yogi has faith that Buddha only speaks what is true and beneficial, and having faith in the true acknowledgement, then yogi should aspire like this. So what kinds of person I am? If I am a person with sharp intelligence, wisdom and understanding, I will become fully enlightened even within one night or one day. So we are not in that type, because within one night he practiced and he meet the Buddha and then he became enlightened. And second one, if I'm a person with middling intelligence, wisdom and understanding, I will become fully enlightened within 7 days or within 15 days or within 7 years. So we are practicing according to the teaching of Buddha, 1 month, 2 months, and you have been practicing for many, many years. So there is this kinds of uh, confidence must be increased. to practice more and more. So with this inspiration, all the yogis are practicing mindfulness meditation. So this is body Raja Kumara Sutta, Buddha acknowledged to the practitioner. This is very inspiring. So remembering this, yogi need to practice more and more. So we will continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today by practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting, rising, falling, sitting, touching, seeing, hearing, continuously and meticulously. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. So,